Hi, I'm Eric Butts.
And I'm Jim Butts.
SuicideFantasyFootball.com, talking to you about the Eagles' moves that we think they might make now that free agency is going to be back open, that the CBA is agreed upon.
Listen, we love fantasy football. We love Suicide Fantasy Sports, but deep down inside, we're Eagles fans. A lot of the people that follow us on Facebook and Twitter are Eagles fans just as well. They're our hometown team. So, although it may or may not affect fantasy football, I think the Eagles are going to make a lot of moves, and we're going to be really happy in 2 days with what they do.
They're really happy in 2 days?
In 2 days, we're going to make big impact moves on the defensive side of the football. Because offensively,
That's
we're pretty set. We got our offensive lineman in Danny Watkins. We might sign another guy to play guard or center just for depth-wise. But we're going to sign impact defensive players, and we're going to get an impact defensive player from a trade.
All right, who's the impact defensive player that we're going to sign just as a free agent?
I think it's going to be Ray Edwards. I think, it's going to depend. If we make the trade for Cobb Cromartie, I think we're going to sign Ray Edwards. If we don't get that trade and we make another trade, we're going to sign a cornerback, probably either Asamoah or Ike Taylor. I don't think they like James Joseph as much as people say. I know they like Ike Taylor.
James Joseph. Not as much as I like Ike Taylor and Asamoah, but I think what you can get him for compared to what you'd have to give up to get those guys, I'm probably siding with Joseph.
You want to know the name I'm coming out of the blue with? A big impact player that I'm thinking the Eagles are going to sign.
Yes.
Who's a free agent this year, who was maybe the best defensive player in the NFL 2 years ago.
Okay.
Lights out. Sean Merriman.
What?
I'm telling you. That's the Eagles type of contract. He was hurt last year. They're going to get him for a 2-year deal to make his money.
Physically unable to perform
but
with a bad injury.
Nah, he's fine. He was able to play towards the end of the year. He was okay. He didn't play because he was hurt, but he was able to play. He didn't want to risk it because he knew he was coming up on his free agent year.
With our linebacker core,
that's going to be.
I'm going to take Sean Merriman.
Yep. I'm not saying he's going to be an all-pro again, but that's somebody to watch out for that the Eagles will sign. Somebody who's hurt, that they can get a discount, who wants to be on a winning team. We play on natural grass. He's got a chance to be an impact player.
I think our big impact player, although I like the way you're thinking because that is an Andy Reid move to get the guy who everyone else thinks should be in the trash heap, which is why I think we're going to sign Haynesworth.
Well, listen, if they cut him, the Redskins are trying to trade him for a future 17th round draft pick just so he doesn't go to the No, they don't even care about getting something. Just so he doesn't go to the Eagles. They don't want him going to the Eagles because they know he's going to be determined. And I know for a fact that they were dealing with somebody else to get a 7th round draft pick, and they wanted it in the deal that if they trade it to the Eagles, it converts to a 2nd round pick.
Wow.
Because they didn't want the Eagles to get Haynesworth.
Good information by Jim.
He's going to cut. He's going to get cut because they're not going to find anybody that wants him. They're going to cut him, or they might even just keep him and pay him because it's really not that much money now. I mean, comparatively, it's still a lot of money, but it's not $20 million anymore. Now it's like $4 million.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If they're not going to move to a 4-3 defense, why would they want to keep him there? Because he's not going to play.
Make him inactive and pay him $4 million
instead of letting him go against you.
Instead of letting him go to the Eagles and be a stud, which I think is a consideration for them.
Especially with us having his coach in Tennessee and Washburn, it just makes sense that he might actually come back to being the guy he was in Tennessee.
And he's not going to be forever. He's not going to be a Hall of Famer, but he was dominant in Tennessee, and he can be dominant again. He showed it on a couple plays last year. If you look at the YouTube clip where he went back against the Chicago Bears last year, he dominated. He blew up the center, the guard, and Jay Cutler before Jay Cutler could even hand the ball off.
Yep.
He's got it in him. He's just not mentally focused.
All right, so Jim calls for Sean Merriman being the big impact name.
No. He's the surprise name. The big impact name is going to be Ray Edwards or Nnamdi Asomugha or one of those guys.
I think Haynesworth. I don't think we get Ray Edwards. I think someone else dumps a boatload of money on him that we're not going to be willing to give. And Asomugha, I think the Texans are going to do everything they have to do to get him in Texas.
I think he's going to wind up at another team in Texas, but it's not going to be.
Oh, that would hurt so bad to see him with a star on his head.
But listen, we get Rogers Cromartie, we get Ray Edwards. We wind up with another linebacker. Our defense is set. We're going to be good.
All right, signing out, Butts and Butts. Tell us what you think. Jim at SuicideFantasySports.com, Facebook.com/Butts and Butts, SFFcom on Twitter, and check out our Blog Talk Radio show, Wednesday night, 7:30 to 8:30, Fantasy Overload.
Don't forget, you only got a couple more days. SuicideFantasyFootball.com, 10% off, early bird sign-up special, grand prize league for college or pro football.
Win a trip for 2 to the Super Bowl or BCS championship game.